all the way back in his days in the EU LCS, I think it was at the time, maybe the LEC, picking up a pentakill on it, and it will be locked in.
So there's a ton of momentum in this composition. You get a kill, the resets are going to feel really strong. Question is, who is getting you that first initial kill? They don't have like a primary engager yet, so that support pick going to be really important. It is leaving it to last pick, leaving that last option available for IELTS to have the information. And Genji, it looks like they probably will just go for that Rakan. Really simple, just to follow up with the Vi. And also, I think Rakan Galio is just so strong.
Oh, it's gross. It is grotesque. Rakan Corki gives you pressure in the lane. Obviously, Rakan not as strong level 1 as some other supports, but if you use the Gleaming Quill and you trade in well with the Gatling gun, Corki kind of covers that for you.
I think also having the Corki compared to something like the Jhin, the fact you have that dash.
A little bit of mobility, yeah.
Yeah, and it means that there's no real easy target. When you think about the sort of reset potential of LYON, there's not like a target you can think, oh, we can just jump on them immediately. They're an easy one to take out. That being said, one thing when you are getting resets with the Viego, if the champion has a dash, feels really good. There's a lot of dashes. If you start getting, like, you go onto Rakan, grand entrance in, get a reset again, and you just keep...
dash, get him. Yeah. I have to see if LYON can keep things stable through the early game, as Chovy on this Galio is just going to spot out Inspired. For Genji, business as usual. It's a very Genji comp, right? You have solid dive from Keen and Canyon. You've got Ruler on an AD carry that can do a huge amount of damage later on. You've got Duro there. His ability to be everywhere on the map, get vision in before objectives, but also be that follow-up engage. And Genji loving life with these 5 picks.
You know, it's interesting because we saw the change that did happen for Genji that we've talked a bit about was Ryu, who was the coach for BNK Fear-X, coming from that team over to Genji. And I feel like these sorts of drafts were very indicative of how BNK Fear-X wanted to play last year and the sort of things they would draft. Having like that late engage, easy sort of, and we've had this game and last game. It's like you have your go buttons, you charge in, and with the team as strong as Genji in those 5v5s, it feels a bit unfair.
It's one of those, I think a lot of people, when they look at great teams, will say, oh, they play complex things well. As Ignite goes down onto Ruler, doesn't have the Valkyrie right now. Gleaming Quill available for Duro, but he can't get in range to heal up Ruler. Great trade from Berserker and Isles there.
Yeah, really good trade, and I love they go for the Ignite. So normally we've seen heals so much for supports, but Duro doesn't want to heal there because the healing's reduced, so he holds it, he saves it, and that means you don't get the movement speed, so Ruler's trapped into the trade for longer. Berserker and Isles, you know, game 2, they're coming to play.
Yeah, really nice early trade. Good hook from Isles to start things off. Level 2 now for Ruler and Duro does mean they're a little bit safe. Another hook's going to land. Gleaming Quill on Duro will heal up Ruler as well.
Hey, look, we're 2 minutes into the game. This is already looking way better.
It's massive. Good stuff all round for the LYON bottom lane. Slight leads in every role apart from support right now for them. Dokla getting the push into Keen with that ranged into melee matchup, and Keen having to sacrifice at least a couple of minions out of this wave just because of how much pressure Dokla can put down. Area was used by Berserker in bot lane to make sure that he got his recall off.
Yeah, good move there, picking up the cold, so has that investment coming through. And Ruler not going to be able to max out as obviously he wants to get his tier.
I mean, Carl is so good on Yunara as well. All of that lifesteal, or pseudo lifesteal off from it with your Cultivation of Spirit, the Q. Wave start to push towards Dokla, especially with Keen thinning it out like this, but Keen's struggling a little bit because of that range disparity that is there. Canyon actually foregoing the bot side Scuttle Crab, even though he was on that side of the map, is just saying, okay, we're going to get 1-for-1. I'll run up to top, delays me by 8-10 seconds or so, but we'll make sure that I don't lose out on a fight in that bot side river.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that LYON are putting these lanes in an uncomfortable position, so you have to kind of be respectful. And Canyon is the main one who's suffering right now in terms of, okay, my lanes don't have prio for the most part. Obviously the wave is bouncing back now for Keen, so he's covering there. But Canyon has to be careful because he's not going to have the immediate support, the immediate backup. Now, though, Keen could end up in trouble here.
Keen weirding for the slow. Inspired spotted on the Tribush ward, and Keen will just start to walk away. Inspired, you do want to get towards that level 6 as quickly as possible on the Viego as well. So with his Krug spawning, wants to get back there. Doesn't want to spend too much time stopping Keen from being able to push this wave in. Keen, with the push, will now just be able to back away, but Dokla freezes the wave slightly. You see Keen, not even actually get his recall off there. Good weirding from Dokla to stop it in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, just keeping the wave in an uncomfortable spot for him as well. And kind of just biding the time. not letting him get that reset up, getting full HP.
Another good hook from Isles as Ruler's chunked down to half HP. The Ignite down as well will chip away at his health bar, but in the end, apart from just getting some of that health away from him, not actually costing Ruler too much in terms of CS. Saint's going to get taunted up here by Chovy. Smashes him with the Petrocite hands that he has.
I think that's the thing that's, you know, as much as things are going good for LYON, and we know that from what Inspired said before the series, the game plan...
Ooh, Valkyrie down onto Oz. He has to flash away, but the flash follow from Ruler Enduro is enough. The auto comes out. Isles just oversteps a smidge. Berserker now getting chased out as well. His barrier almost back off cooldown. Inspired coming in from the side as well. Flash, Spectral more, knock up with the ground entrance barrier as well. Inspired look for the kill, but he's CC'd. He'll get it. He'll go into the corgi. Valkyrie's over onto Duro, who flashes away. And Inspired will pay for his kill with his life. Canyon takes him down.
Oh, the barrier buying so much time there. Feels really unfortunate for LYON. If Inspired was able to get more momentum there, get the kill onto Ruler, then Duro, would have maybe be able to escape even from Canyon, but unfortunately slowed down so much. The peel in that comes through, able to delay those resets from coming out. Isles just overstepping a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit too far forward, but still, really good start for LYON. They are within 100, 200 gold, 6 minutes in. Public execution not hitting from Keen as Dokla uses the ultimate of his own just to dodge away. Keen, though, does have this wave in a really nice spot, and Dokla doesn't have too much mana. Let's have the TP if he just wants to go back and then teleport to try and break this freeze.
Yeah, neither top lane having reset yet. Both just kind of holding out, keeping each other accountable in this situation.
I'm going to kick off the Drake. That's the first move. Canyon only just coming past his inhibitor now. So this will be the first neutral objective of the series for LYON. Let's have another look at this. Isles there, procs the Aftershock early and then keeps going in for the fight.
Yeah, Aftershock down, shield down, gets CC'd, and Ruler Valkyrie's over him. And the Valkyrie, even level 1, does so much damage. She's just caught off guard. And then here, Berserker's trying to trade back, but has to back away eventually. And then here, Inspired sees the free kill, but the barrier comes through. The healing as well from the Rakan.
Dokla should be able to walk away from this one, but perhaps not from Canyon, who's on his way across. No flash for Dokla. Cease and desist. He smashed with the fist, and a Vault Breaker out means that Canyon gets his second.
Yeah, the fact Canyon can get out of there without having to burn the flash feels really good in that situation. So, kill set up by Keen, but finished off by Canyon, and they will have a gold lead now. But still not super substantial. LYON did get that early dragon.
Oh, knock up there onto Berserker. Good hook out of it, but Ruler hits level 6, has those missiles, hits the first onto Berserker, hits the second too. Not quite enough to take down the Yonara, but will force Berserker out of lane.
Found a great angle there. Ruler hitting the level 6, having that power spike. You know, the Yonara's level 6 so strong, but not being available. And also Duro using the Spellbook Ignite for that extra pressure. So we see some heavy trading back in return.
Yeah, ping's coming out towards the blue buff area from Genji. I think they were wondering if perhaps they could go for the invade onto Inspired here. But they'll back away. You can see Canyon just going up towards his own blue side, wants to farm through. Perhaps make his way towards Keen on the top side. Grubs up in 20 seconds. They were pretty delayed in game 1. Lots of teams now kind of are leaving them until there's a very large window just to take it. It's like, I don't really need to be doing anything else here.
I think as well, a lot of junglers will just do like the 1 for the extra XP.
Public execution onto Dokla, but he goes between worlds and dodges away. Keen trading back in with that shield. Has the Hex Drinker as well first hit. For going, rushing the Eclipses, we see a lot of Ambassadors doing, and Hex Drinker with the Magic Resist doing a lot of work into Dokla, who is struggling after being in control of the lane early game.
Yeah, Keen really playing for this lane matchup and starting to gain control. Good threatening a dive, maybe.
Weird and clears out most of the way. Keen looking for the dive. Okay. Oh, it wasn't a threat, it was a promise as Keen takes the kill. Just solos out Dokla in topside.
This feels rough, honestly. Yeah. Having this flex pick that you put the Aurora in top lane in this matchup, and I know Canyon ganking definitely didn't help Dokla, but Keen getting a solo kill there just makes you really concerned, especially with how strong Ambessa becomes on the one-item spike. It's not going to get better.
Spike delayed a little bit because of that slightly different path through the Hex Drinker towards the Eclipse. Canyon did take the grubs while this was happening, and Ruler and Duro wisely back away from the bot side, knowing that, well, where could Inspired be? He's somewhere down here, most likely. Canyon gets a little bit of vision down. So Yeah, that voice line, that wow, wow. I guess every time we cut to it, someone recalling. Rula will clear out the wave. And after, 6 minutes, we were talking about how it was only 200 gold difference. Now Genji 1.6k ahead of LYON, who just have that single kill and Drake to their name.
Yeah, I think with the lane advantages, LYON's not getting as much of a farm lead as maybe they would have hoped in comparison to like Genji game 1. But, Inspired, as he said before the series, the hope is just to stabilize lanes and get to a mid-game where they can fight. So that's what we're looking toward. It does feel unfortunate that game 1, Genji got the early dragons. They get like the Chemtech Ocean into Hextech Soul. LYON get Hextech Mountain.
Yeah.
If it's a terrible soul, I'm going to feel so bad for them.
They do still have to do the next steps of taking the next dragon and then playing for the soul as well.
That's true.
And so I was spotted out on vision. He comes towards topside. Inspired here as well. Has the Kraken Slayer complete on the Viego. Looking to see if they can burst down Keen. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Saint knocked up with the Justice Punch. As Chovy takes him down to about a third HP.
And now this is concerning because Chovy can start to move towards top. They have info this dive is coming.
Depth charge onto Keen. Public execution to dodge the CC. Isles caught underneath the tower. Still Keen surviving through it. Isles will fall. Dokla will follow. Inspired will come third. Oh, flashes away from the hero's entrance. A double though for Keen as the TP comes in from Duro. They look to collapse onto Inspired, but he will be able to escape.
The fact that Inspired gets the kill and manages to get out before Chovy, it could have been even worse. Yeah. It could have been 3 kills coming through. Duro even coming through with a teleport. Just a devastating situation for LYON there, trying to kill Keen and 2 go down. 3-1-1 now for the Ambassador. This is
while it happens, Berserker is forced away from his tower on the bottom lane. 3 plates go over to Ruler. He has a 15 CS lead as well. It's almost 900 gold ahead now for the Corki, and Keen is still 1,000 ahead himself.
Oh man. Yeah, going from bad to worse in this situation. This Ambassador is going to be a problem. Yeah. So see the buffer on the ultimate from Isles, beautifully played. And then just buying as much time with the cooldowns, gets that shield in as well, focused down a line who had aggro. Dokla grabs it with the tower ramped up, and then Inspired, dashing and then flashing to get out of the knockup just in time. Because with how ramped up the tower
he was dead. Yeah, one or two more tower shots would have definitely killed off Inspired. Gold lead shrinks a little bit for Genji, but with the quickness going down onto Isles, he does have the flash, might try and dash out of this one. Charm onto Berserker as well, who continues to trade in. Isles perhaps looking for the hook onto Duro. As a flash of his own, goes for Ruler. Ruler flashes back into the bush, but Berserker continues to trade in. Flash in from Myers, Ruler low. LYON winning the 2v2 bot, but Canyon's here to stop them in their tracks. Canyon will come across. Berserker gets another! 2 for 2 in a 2v3. LYON's bot lane coming alive.
Huge play there from Berserker and Isles, managing to get the 2v2 kills, and unfortunately for them, Canyon cleans it up, but still outplaying Ruler and Duro. Not something that many players find the chance to do.
Really nicely done from LYON's bottom side. Because Canyon was there, though, it will be their first Drake of the game going over to Genji. Canyon now 4-0-0 on this Vi, and you can see the comparison in the coin-based gold grind between Canyon and Inspired. Pretty even in terms of gold, but Canyon has been having a whale of a time when it comes to picking up kills.
I think it kind of shows that Inspired has been keeping up. He got those couple of kills, has been farming quite well.
Good
but
Death charge there for the follow-up. Saint looking with the Spirit Rush. Isles will take the kill. The chase continues. Great charm from Saint, just clipping the heels of Canyon. He has to Vault Breaker away, but another hook. A hero's entrance. Canyon survives. Sees goes in. Back in. Canyon dies. Will they follow up onto Chovy? Inspired's going to steal away the Vi. And Chovy just gets out alive. Meanwhile, on the top side, Keen continues to win the 1v1.
But it's good news across the rift for LYON. Even though Dokla is not having a great time in the matchup, he does escape. That's the main thing. And that play for LYON was huge. They get the initial pick, and this is what the comp wants to do. The reset potential is huge there. And the gold lead less than 1,000 now.
Yeah. Really good stuff all around from LYON. Isles setting up as well with a couple of great hooks, and then Saint coming in with the follow-up. Look at this. Duro thinks he's safe, but a good first hook into Depth Charge means that Duro now looking to battle dance to Canyon, can't get there. Saint with a great charm just on the heels of Canyon.
Yeah. And then here, Canyon goes for the short dash to try and get around the wall.
Yeah, bend the bullet.
But it's not enough. And then he goes back in. He's like, I'll set it for Chovy. Just ends up going down himself. I think probably could have just walked away.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you can see they were looking for Inspired, but Inspired, when you get the passive out of the Viego, you get that health back. Makes it so much easier for you. Saint now 1,200 gold ahead. Had a real struggle in the lock-in Swiss stage online. LYON generally had a real struggle going 1 and 2, but in playoffs, this guy really came to life.
And starting to do so in this game with a big gold lead now. 1,200 to get ahead of Chovy. And if you have a fed Ahri, a fed Viego with this composition, it's going to be so significant when you get those first kills. The momentum you get is huge.
LYON in the lead. 15 minutes in, still 3 minutes before Chem break, so we've got a while. This is
you know, Chemtech Soul, when they start to get dragons.
Not exactly what you want. And the problem for LYON is going to be Keen.
Yeah.
He is so damn big right now, and you have to, like, we saw yesterday BLG versus G2. Obviously, we've seen Ambessa do a lot of stuff.
Oh, I did see that.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
Bin absolutely smurfed on G2.
On G2?
Yeah, on G2 specifically.
What region are G2 from?
G2 are from Europe.
Oh, Europe.
Yeah.
And that's the LEC, right?
That is the LEC. Man, look, you can try and mock me here. LEC losing to LPL top laners is a time-honored tradition. If it's an international tournament, that has to happen.
At least you got a new cool screenshot.
It's true. It joins the 20 other ones of Aatrox's just slamming onto G2 on repeat. Or a cannon slicing Maelstrom or something. But yeah, like we've seen what an Ambessa can do, especially after you get towards the Death Dance, especially after you get towards a little bit of that sustain like, in the kit.
Yeah.
Now with the Eclipse complete, Dokla is just never winning that matchup. And I guess the question I'm coming to is, how do LYON actually start to pressure Keen in the side lane, or how do they negate the pressure that he's going to apply?
I think the thing is, Dokla has a lot of wave clear and is hard to pin down. Keen has been pressuring him, we've seen that, but he hasn't been killing him the last couple of times. He hasn't been able to dive him.
Oh, public execution going on to Saint, who Spirit Rushes away. Saint loses half his health and his tower. And now even with the charm connecting, Keen very happy in this matchup because he has that Hex Drinker. Keen though, holding on to his flash for now, inspired on the way across. Spirit Rush available to Saint, but Keen just dives in. Spectral Maul for the stun. Keen now beginning to retreat, realizing that he doesn't have a huge amount of armor, and Inspire claps him. LYON, we asked how they could negate the pressure of Keen. Well, it's just exactly like that, yeah. As they go for more, Ruler gonna get Death Charge. Inspired chasing forward, Charm coming out with the quickness. There's the Heartbreaker forward by Inspired onto Ruler. He gets the reset, he gets another. Inspired and Isles take down 2 more.
That's how you do it. Get the first kill and the resets come through Inspired. Now getting so much gold off the back of that play, and Genji downing kills for the first time this series.
Huge from LYON. We wondered if they could bounce back after game 1. Well, they are bouncing back with a vengeance.
What game 1? You know, just forget about it. And Keen, I think, feeling very confident in his strength. Burns the ult early, chunks Saint out, but it's an Ahri. You know, hard to get the follow-up in the end of the kill. And then here, I think Keen was waiting for the moment to flash against a Viego. You're thinking, okay, I'll flash still, I'm ready for it.
That final order did a ton
I'm pretty sure that crit.
Yeah. And then here, Ruler on vision, Death Charge comes out. Inspired has so much mobility, we talked about it in draft, and they can follow up with a Heartbreaker reset into the reset, gets the kill. And Dura really can't do anything at that point.
Yeah, don't be scared though, they can't kill you ever. You are so OP.
Oh shit.
Twice I've casted Genji series here at first, and one of them is Swan.
It's just a great way to describe the situation, you know, Inspired, given those sharp calls you've expected from him, where he's giving all the feedback to the team, saying what they should do. Ruler's like, yep.
Yeah. Drake taking for Genji. The focus for Dokla currently on the top lane tower. A 2,000 gold lead about to extend for LYON right now. Items beginning to come in across the board. 2 for Berserker, 2 for Saint with the Malignance and the Rocket Belt, and 2.5 for Inspired. Collector, Kraken, Last Whisper.
Yeah, he's strong. He's such a threat right now, and honestly, he can just kind of run rampant in some of these fights. And I think one of the problems with, you know, with the Viego being so fed is if you try and focus him down, he has the ult to buffer. If he gets a reset, then when he has those frames where he's untargetable. A lot of the tools on Genji are very powerful at focusing down a single target. They're very telegraphed.
Yep.
And if you avoid them, Genji can suddenly find themselves in a really bad spot.
Yeah, much agree. I do wonder if in the full team fight, Its nameplate's on, but I still favor Genji's composition when it comes to a full 5v5. Like, even though they're 2,000 gold behind, it's like at some point Inspire can't just only use the Nautilus to walk in. You know?
I think it comes down to how the fights are structured. If they're kind of more clumped together and you get this flawless Genji engage, it's going to feel great for them. Whereas for LYON, I think you want to find it a bit more split out.
Yeah.
Someone's like, Duro's up to the side, maybe looking for a flank.
Multi-skirmish team fights.
Yes,
yeah.
and you start it off with, you know, Duro was trying to find a flank angle, we killed him, and that immediate momentum starter for the rest of the fight makes it so much easier. So we'll see if they're able to pull that off. It's not obviously going to be the easiest thing, but this is such a great spot to be in this game.
Really solid stuff so far from LYON. As Keen, spider senses tingling a little bit. Yes, it's brand new day, it's tingling. Tingling a little bit as Inspired and Saint are waiting. Keen will begin to step up, doesn't have the flash.
Yeah, I think that's the danger point. He does have backup with
you can
Galio.
See Chovy and Duro both moving down through the river.
He's walking into them.
And in there as well, there's the charm. So look for the damage. Hero's entrance onto Keen, who tries to shield up with repudiation. Public execution as well, and Inspired's down before he can get the reset. Saint trying to run away, gets another charm onto Keen. But even with the stopwatch, he can't stop his own death. Genji find 2 as they collapse on the bot side.
And Chovy was immediately ready to come in for the support. You know, you have the Hex Drinker, you have the Magic Shield from the Galio. Really just limited Saint's damage, and Inspired just wasn't able to do enough on his own. He has Collector as well, remember, so he only needs to get him below 5% and just wasn't able to do so. That gold lead that we saw LYON have, with this tower going, I think it's just gone.
It goes from 2.5k to 0 in the space of 90 seconds as the Ripto charges through mid and Genji get their 3rd turret of the game.
Not the best 90 seconds they've had, but it's still, you know, I think it shows how things can go wrong for the composition. They were super patient with this play. They waited to get the charm out of the Fog of War and layer the CC. The thing is, Inspired ulted a little early because he wanted to guarantee it, which makes complete sense, but you didn't get as much execute damage on it, and Keen just able to survive. Look how low he is.
Yeah, Hex Drinker in the Hero's entrance really saving Keen in that fight, and then after that gets the repudiation off for the extra shielding.
Yeah. I mean, the resets come in, could be different. There was a lot of Genji members who came in. The whole squad were ready to back up Keen.
But maybe it's an let's escape at that point. You have, and Viego's stolen Ambessa, he can dash away, he's got Heartbreaker over a wall. You've got an Ari who has Spirit Rush, she can try and escape as well.
Or at least buy time for the rest of LYON to come in, but yeah. And I think it shows that a lot of these fights are going to be, do you get the momentum, or if you just struggle and fail to get 1 kill, that can just cut you short completely.
Definitely can. Genji once again taking the lead in the game. 60 seconds before we have the next Chem Dragon on the Rift.
Which, I don't think the Chem Dragon's amazing for LYON. I mean, it's decent for like a Viego, but I actually think for Genji...
Avoiding the initial burst.
Yeah, and for champions like Ambessa, Vi, and the Galio, it's a good amount of value. So if they do get that Chemtech Soul, it is going to make things tricky for LYON in this game.
Definitely agree with you. Keen still way ahead of Dokla, who is currently matching Chovy on that bottom side. And it looks like they are going to send Saint as the one who needs to deal with Keen, who still has his flash and his ultimate available. Canyon hovering around him, Duro on his way across as well. Good vision control for Genji around this barren pit. They could just start to look to play around it themselves. Saint with the teleport could join from the bottom, Dokla with the TP could join from the bottom side. But he's getting forced out pretty handily by Chovy right now.
Yeah, I don't think Dokla has a fun matchup.
Oh, public execution, they're just diving onto Saint. They go in with a follow-up season assist. Saint's going to Spirit Rush out. There's the Hero's entrance follow-up, and Inspired trying to dive in, but dies for it. Genji find 2 Spirit Rush away from Saint Berserker. Trying to open up the big guns, but just doesn't have the damage to work his way through Ruler, who almost takes him out with a phosphorus bomb to the face. Genji will back away with the jungler dead, though. I think it might be a call for Baron.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so decisive when they start the fight. Initially looking for the Ahri, and the Ahri a hard target to follow up on, but Inspired goes in, and they just turn onto him. And as soon as he dies, it's just hard to see a fight that LYON win from there. Baron going to be secured by Genji. They're TPing in mid as well, so not even really an angle for LYON to trade for the Dragon. And that gold lead's going to be blown open.
It's so tricky because Genji call, we're just going into this bush. They jump onto Saint, and then you can see Inspired thinking, maybe I can get in, goes in with a Heartbreaker, immediate charm for Duro.
Yeah, I think there just wasn't anyone low enough for him to go in. It was a good ult from Isles to buy time for Saint, but
Two on the
here.
Spirit Rush here for Saint. Gets it back up, starts to dash away, and should be able to escape Keen's clutches.
Not fun playing into Keen right now. Feels like Saint and Doku have kind of been like, just avoid him. But he is level 17 now. Problematic. He's just so bulky, so much healing as well. From the extra ranks in the ultimate.
Yeah, what are you doing to him, man? It's Spear, Eclipse, Hex Drinker, Steel Cap. So even if Inspired is there, his damage isn't really doing too much.
And I think the concern is you're getting to the point where, like, Chovy has a Seeker's Arm Guard. Keen and Canyon, I think, are going GA.
Big execution onto Berserker, who flashes away. Keen still looking for it, just dashes through them all! They can't touch him! Keen, untouchable from LYON, a double for him. Just dives into 3, and we saw it yesterday, BLG versus G2. When an Ambessa is this far ahead, there's just nothing you can do.
I think this is one of the big frustrations playing against Genji. Looking for a fight here.
Chovy going very deep. Cease and desist though onto Inspire. He's cut down where he stands. The hero's entrance in from Chovy as Saint pops the stopwatch and pops immediately afterwards. Genji, after cleaning up 4 kills, are just looking towards the Nexus. Berserker up in 6, Isles up now. The first Nexus tower down. Will Genji continue their advance? They still have that Baron for another minute's time. Douglas chunked out a little bit by Ruler. Chovy still low mana too, but with the minions coming in, the Nexus tower will be forfeit. Canyon caught out, dashes away. Keen dives in. The follow-up from Ruler as well as Berserker is cut to pieces. Douglas, the last one standing on the fountain. The Genji, after a few fumbles in the mid-game and great play from LYON, will still go 2-0 up.
And this is one